Welcome to the YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub, your one-stop solution for expert guidance, best practices, and actionable knowledge in the world of contact centers. Explore, learn, and enhance contact center skills. Welcome to this presentation on occupancy in a call center. In today's session, we'll explore one of the most critical workforce metrics in customer service operations. We'll begin by understanding what occupancy means and why it's essential for measuring agent productivity. Next, we'll break down the formula step by step to simplify calculations. Through a practical example, you'll see how occupancy percentages translate into real-world scenarios for agents and customers alike. Finally, we'll analyze the key components that influence occupancy, including call volume, handle time, workforce scheduling, service level targets, and much more. By the end of this session, you'll have a clear picture of how occupancy affects performance, customer experience, and overall operational efficiency in a call center environment. Let's start by defining occupancy in a call center. Occupancy is a critical workforce metric that measures the percentage of time agents spend actively handling customer calls compared to their total logged-in time. In other words, it tells us how effectively an agent's time is being utilized during their shift. A high occupancy rate indicates that agents are busy for most of their working hours, managing calls with minimal idle time. While this can reflect strong productivity, it can also be a signal to monitor agent workload closely to prevent burnout. On the other hand, a low occupancy rate shows that agents have longer gaps between calls, which could mean underutilization of resources or, in some cases, a need to balance staffing levels with call demand more effectively. In essence, occupancy serves as a window into operational efficiency, helping leaders understand whether staffing levels, scheduling, and call volumes are aligned for optimal performance. Now that we understand the definition, let's break down the formula for calculating occupancy. The formula is simple yet powerful. Occupancy percentage equals handle time divided by the sum of handle time and available time, multiplied by 100. In this equation, handle time includes the total time agents spend talking to customers, the time on hold, and the after-call work required to complete each interaction. Available time represents the time agents are waiting for the next call while remaining logged into the system. By combining these elements, the formula gives us a clear percentage value that reflects how much of an agent's time is spent on productive, customer-facing activities versus waiting periods. Let's bring this concept to life with a practical example. Imagine an agent's workday with the following breakdown. Talk time, 280 minutes spent speaking directly with customers. Hold time, 20 minutes where customers were placed on hold during calls. After-call work, or ACW, 50 minutes spent wrapping up tasks once calls ended. And finally, available time, 50 minutes waiting for the next call while logged in. Adding up the talk time, hold time, and ACW gives us a total handle time of 350 minutes. Now, let's apply the formula. Occupancy is equal to 350 divided by the sum of 350 plus 50, multiplied by 100. That gives us 87.5%. What does this mean? It tells us that agents were actively engaged in customer interactions for 87.5% of their total logged-in time, leaving only 12.5% as idle time. This insight is crucial because it helps managers strike the right balance between agent productivity and operational efficiency. Now, let's explore the key components that directly influence occupancy levels in a call center. First, we have call volume and demand. When call volumes rise, agents spend more time handling customer interactions, which naturally drives occupancy higher and reduces idle time. However, sudden call spikes can push occupancy beyond safe levels, typically above 90%, leaving agents with little to no breathing room and increasing the risk of burnout and dropped service quality. Next, let's talk about average handle time, or AHT. This includes the talk time, hold time, and after-call work for each interaction. Longer call durations and extended wrap-up tasks mean agents remain busy for longer periods, which increases occupancy. While higher occupancy may seem efficient, it also signals the need for careful workforce planning to prevent overloading agents. Continuing with the key components, let's look at workforce management and scheduling. When understaffing occurs, fewer agents are available to handle incoming calls, which pushes occupancy rates higher because the same workload is divided among fewer people. This can lead to long wait times, stressed employees, and even declining service quality. On the other hand, overstaffing creates the opposite effect. With more agents than necessary, calls get answered quickly, but occupancy drops because agents spend more time waiting between calls. This results in underutilized resources and higher operational costs. Next, we have service level targets, for example, the well-known 80-20 target, which aims to answer 80% of calls within 0 seconds. Stricter targets often require more staffing, leading to lower occupancy rates but delivering faster response times and a better customer experience. So, staffing and service levels must be carefully balanced to ensure both efficiency and customer satisfaction. Finally, let's examine the remaining factors that influence occupancy levels in a call center. First, we have queue time and abandon rate. When call queues become long and agent availability is low, the agents who are already on calls experience higher occupancy because they are constantly engaged with no room for downtime. Longer queues also risk higher abandon rates, where customers hang up before being served, impacting both customer experience and service metrics. Next is the channel mix. In a voice-only environment, occupancy is straightforward to measure. However, when agents handle multiple channels, such as chat, email, or social media, the occupancy calculation becomes more complex. Different channels require different handling times, and simultaneous conversations may either increase or decrease occupancy depending on workload distribution. Lastly, we have breaks and shrinkage. Shrinkage includes non-productive activities such as training, team meetings, coaching, or simply taking breaks. All these activities reduce the total available logged-in time, which in turn affects the occupancy ratio. Managing shrinkage effectively ensures agents remain productive without compromising work-life balance. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next video.